Alright, so today I'm going to mix it up a little bit and I'm going to cook some ribs on my charcoal grill, and I'm going to do it using I call it the snake method, where you lay your charcoal out in a circular pattern around the bottom of the grill, and I'll show you that in a second. But my opinion, ribs are really hard to do, really hard to get right, and this is probably the easiest way I have ever done it, and the results to this are just incredible. So stay tuned to the end of the video because I want to cut this thing open and let you guys see how juicy this is. And I'm also going to feed one to Jake because that dog loves these ribs and his eyes get all big and it's really funny. So let's check out the ingredients and we'll get this thing set up and get them cooking. Alright, so to get these things ready, you got your ribs obviously, and I've already taken the membrane off the back, and you're going to need to put some kind of a rub on it or whatever kind of ingredients you want on the outside of the ribs. Now I've experimented with different kinds of rubs. I've made my own rubs, but one real good off the shelf rub is this Honey Hickory by Grill Mates. Works really well, and obviously pretty easy to use because it's already mixed up for you. I also like to put a little bit of honey on my ribs and also a little bit of brown sugar. So alright, let's get started. Let's get these things prepped. Alright, so that's how they look once they're prepped. Like I said, I like to wait about an hour and let this will become like just like a glaze on it within, I don't know, 30-45 minutes. So during that time, I'm going to go get my grill set up and get ready to go. Alright, anybody who follows along on my channel knows that I built this grill cart for my Weber kettle grill. Call it the Grill and Chill. Don't look at that mess down there. And this is the Weber 22-inch kettle grill. Definitely the most versatile grill I have in my whole arsenal, and definitely my go-to grill. Alright, so I'm going to set the camera up like this so you guys can see how I set up the charcoal grill, because this is really the magic behind this methodology. And shout out to my buddy Ed for telling me about this, giving it a try himself, and kind of walking me through how easy it really is. Thanks, Ed. Alright, so when you're all done, it should look something like this. Kind of cover about 3/4 of the base of the grill. And I've got hickory chips on there. Whatever kind of wood you like. Really adds a lot of flavor. Kind of helps keep the charcoal going as well. So let's get this thing lit. I'm only going to light up about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 pieces of charcoal in here. In my chimney. And we'll be good to go. Alright, so I let it burn in the chimney for a little while. Got about 8 to 10 coals going, and that's about what it should look like. It looks like it's going to go out, but trust me, it's not going to. And it will literally snake around and slow cook your rib. So another thing that I do is I put the ribs up on an elevated rack, and you can see that rack there. Keeps them up off the heat. This is a total indirect method of cooking, and you want them to I found that getting them up off the grate causes them, helps them cook a lot slower and really produces just a really moist rib. And I'll show you guys that at the end when I cut one of these things open. So I'm ready to roll. Let's get these ribs on here. Alright, ribs are on. Let's get the lid on this thing and let them cook. Now you can play around with the openings on this grill. I leave mine it's fully open, so the bottom vents are fully open and the top vents fully open. I get up to usually about 300 degrees, and that's kind of where it hovers, and that's where that elevated rack helps out. Alright, so I am going to set a timer for about 4 hours, and I'm going to check these things about every hour and just rotate them around and keep moving them away from the direct heat. So one other ingredient that I almost forgot is your favorite beer, because while these things are cooking, nothing goes down better than the cold beer. Alright, so roughly about an hour in, and here's what they look like. They're starting to cook, and that's all the charcoal that's burned so far. So I'm going to rotate these things around a little bit, keep them indirect. About 3 hours to go. That is some really good smoke coming out of there. Just under 300 degrees, so it's about 2 hours into it. Well, 2 hours, minute 45 seconds. Let's see what these things look like. Whew. That is awesome. So where am I at with charcoal. So I burned about that much, about a quarter of it. It's working its way around, so I'm still indirect. And now I'm going to take these and flip them over. Check them again in another hour. Alright, just about an hour left. Still got some great smoke coming out of there. It's about 300 degrees. Let's see what they look like. They are looking really good. As far as charcoal goes, I'm about halfway. I'm almost out of wood. But these things are almost done, about another hour. So I'm going to move them around a little bit and then put the lid back on for the last hour. Do you like ribs? Do you like ribs, huh? Do you like ribs? I think someone's excited about these things. You can smell them. Alright, so during this last hour, I'm going to fire up this other charcoal grill, and I've already got it lit and going pretty good. And I'm doing that because I want to sear these ribs when they come off the grill. And that's the final step in the process, and it really, really makes them taste great. Alright, so these things are done 4 hours later. And I got my other grill, and I'm ready to sear these things. So let me take the lid off this one. Look at those things. Woo! Tell me that don't look good. Alright, let's get them on here and get them seared. So these ribs are done. They look great. And let me kind of show you the grill. I worked my way all the way around, and I just have a little bit of charcoal left for 4 hours. So that's pretty impressive for 4 hours. Just to keep a consistent temperature of about 275. This method really works well, and you're about to see the inside of these ribs, and it's unbelievable how juicy and moist they are and how great they are. So take a look at that. That's what the inside looks like, and you can see that it's really still very juicy, very moist, and these things are just awesome. Look at that. You can see the moisture in that thing. Nice. And like I said, these aren't fall off the bone, but the meat, it's really hot, but the meat, look at that. God, that's so good. The meat kind of pulls off pretty easily like that, you see? Alright, so just a little comparison here, because that's Jake, and that's watermelon. He loves watermelon, but his eyes do not get all big with watermelon. Nope. Alright, Jake, it's finally that time, buddy. What's Daddy got for you, boy? Now, you remember with the watermelon, you didn't see his eyes get all big. But now you're fixing to see the whites of his eyes. You're a savage, Jake. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I can assure you that the ribs tasted just as good as they looked, and judging by Jake's response to the ribs, it gets all wide-eyed. I just think that's so funny. He thought they were pretty good too. So if you have any questions about the rib recipe, leave them down in the comments section. And if you like this video, you like the content of the channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.